Okay, and then let me hop into the stream lounge. All right, we're live. Feltopia Incorporated presents. Randy Feltface.
Have you ever repeatedly punched yourself in the genitals on public transportation? I have.
Okay.
It was late
Great
December
start.
and I was feeling Christmas horny.
What's Christmas horny?
You know Christmas horny?
No, tell me
If you
about
don't
it.
celebrate Christmas, Christmas horny is the kind of intense sexual arousal you can only reach by spending quality time with your family.
Sweet home
Oh my
Alabama.
God. I would fuck anyone to get out of this house right now. I would get riled by anyone in any position just to sidestep this intergenerational trauma for 5 fucking minutes. That's Christmas horny.
Thank you,
It's
Randy.
been a strange Christmas because earlier in the year we lost my uncle. We found him again, but he was dead.
Oh, double twist.
It was a Tuesday, which is the comedian's Monday. Not to be confused with Wednesday, which is the alcoholic's Friday. And of course, not mentioning Sunday because that's the Lord's Day. Not to be confused with the day of our Lord, which is of course when Jesus Christ will return to earth to redeem his faithful believers while banishing all unbelievers to the torture and despair of eternal damnation, because Jesus can be a bit of a cunt like that. I'd been to the grocery store to purchase some groceries, and I was musing on the origin of the word grocer and how it was originally used to describe a place which sold items in bulk or gross amounts, and how that evolved and changed over the years to now where it's the place itself that's fucking gross. I think it's the distance between cause and effect I find most depressing at the supermarket. Every oak tree turned toilet paper. Every shark turned fish finger. Every art degree graduate turned shelf stacker. 10,000 years of agricultural innovation reduced to a
He's such a crick in the neck.
Science experiments and a clean-up in aisle 4. Always piss in aisle 4.
Is he saying kiss or piss? Are there captions? No,
It's a
auto-generated.
security camera blind spot. And that distance between cause and effect is still there when you get home from the supermarket. The deportation-fearing farm worker inhaling pesticides for $3 an hour just so you can leave a tomato congealing in your crisper for long enough for it to figure out how to clamber out and call the cops. My crisper's fucked up, man. It's primordial in my crisper. I recently sold the rights to my crisper to the BBC. David Attenborough is filming in my fridge as we speak. And if I were a lesser man, I would probably do a David Attenborough impersonation at this point of the show, but it's a slippery fucking slope. Before you know it, I'll be sitting on a couch across from Graham Norton. awkwardly sweating my way through my best Matthew McConaughey or Owen Wilson impersonation, longing for the days when all you needed to make it in comedy was a loud shirt and a versatile pair of eyebrows. I have neither!
Yeah!
I don't trust the variety in the supermarket. Too many fucking things. All of those specialty stores bulldozed for the soulless convenience of a one-stop shop. I recall as a child...
His movement is great. I just love the way he moves. That was a terrible frame to pause on. It looks like he's hailing Hitler. I'm going to continue.
Own shop. There was the fucking Fruit Loop shop.
Hold on, I'm gonna check Discord. You can't love a bad name. You can't love a bad name. Okay, now got it. And then I'm gonna advertise it in the Tarragon Forest too. Oh, leave activity. Never mind. You know what? Never mind. Okay.
The fucking frozen pea shop. That was, of course, before the frozen pea man was arrested for selling his own chilled urine to the public. Frozen pea? Actual pea that's been frozen? Okay, listen, Melbourne. No. You're not going to get a frozen urine joke of that caliber anywhere within the greater Melbourne region on a Friday night. That joke's worth the price of admission. And what I'm sensing tonight, Melbourne, is you don't fucking deserve that joke! My point is, I find it inherently unnatural stocking items at extreme opposite ends of the goods spectrum side by side in the one place. Did we learn nothing from the wet market? It's disgusting. But I needed a 9-volt battery, a tin of shortbread biscuits, a bag of mandarins, and a coat hanger. So what am I going to do?
Wait, are those the items you had at the start? We'll go back and check after the show.
I'm not making multiple stops. Do I look like a postman? Don't answer that. I do look a little bit like a postman.
You do.
In case you're wondering, I used neither trolley nor basket because I prefer carrying too many things. If there are things to be carried, I'll fucking carry them. But there must be too many of them, and I wish to carry them all at once. I want to cut off my circulation. I would like to dislocate several of my fingers. There better be a fucking staircase involved. And when I reach my destination, I want to drag those items across the threshold like I'm a field medic in a World War II film. Stay with me, goddammit! I ain't losing you now, goddamn you! We gotta get you home to Bessie Lou! Oh no, goddamn, it's over swim off!
Randy, stop! Randy! Randy! Randy!
So I'm at the self-checkout.
So I'm at the airport.
I always use the self-checkout when I'm at the supermarket. You know how at the supermarket now you can boop your own shit? You know how they let you do your own fucking boop? Sorry, I was just having a flashback to a joke I wrote in 2009. That was weird. Did you see that? What was that? So I'm at the self-checkout, and I pretend to scan my goods, and I pretend to pay for them, and I go out on the street.
Wait! Well, hold on. Yay, theft!
And I make my way to the bus stop. Now, I don't oft catch bus, but at the time this story occurs, I was driving a 2000 model 93S convertible Saab. Yeah, pretty sweet ride. Would have set you back about $40,000 in the year 2000. My dad bought one for $2,000 in 2016, spent $400
Nice.
to fix it up, and now I, at the age of 43, borrow it when I'm in Melbourne between international tours. International tours which are going so well that when I'm in Melbourne between international tours, I borrow my dad's 2000 model 93S convertible car.
Okay, I'm gonna pause, check Discord. Cause we had a second viewer for like a second. I think they're gone though.
Oh, yes. Yes, thank you. Yes, thanks. The Saab is clearly not the only thing.
Go get you home to Bessie Lou!
It's
Fire!
the Saab with the top down when you have a passenger. As soon as the passenger gets out, you turn into an instant fucking douchebag. Because it's no longer an opportunistic parental car loan.
It's Schrodinger's douchebag. The douchebag is both existent and non-existent at the same time.
Situation with a nifty soft top bonus feature. It's a 43-year-old making a conscious choice to drive around in a 2000 model 93S convertible Saab, just barebacking the open air for all to see. Taking a detour past the nearest grassy knoll in the hopes someone will blow my fucking head off.
Wait, so is that what happened to JFK? Okay, I'll shut up now.
On this particular day, I have locked my keys in the car. It is not the first time I have done this.
Oh.
I've already poked a small hole in the soft top for easy coat hanger access. Hence the coat hanger purchase. So I get to the bus stop and I sit down on the bench and I inadvertently knock an empty can of Coke off the end of the bench and it lands on the ground and a couple of European wasps crawl out of it.
Oh God.
Kill.
That's
I'm not
terrifying.
a big fan of the European wasp. First
Yeah, I would probably have a heart attack if that happened to me.
introduced to Australia in 1959, they aggressively took over the landscape, taking more than their fair share and steamrolling anyone who got in their way. Sound familiar?
Yeah, the Asian giant hornets that came to America.
Yes, they're exactly like Spotify. There's something very humbling about a bee.
Hi, Nuggy Boys channel. You don't... judging from your channel name, you don't seem old enough to be watching this.
Sting killing the bee, the barb of her stinger lodging in her enemy and then disemboweling her as she pulls away. Humble, yet graphically violent. If taken literally, it puts a whole new spin on the Muhammad Ali philosophy, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, doesn't it? By that logic, he'd throw one punch and then shit his intestines out all over.
Yeah, that's probably how it would go. It's One Punch Man, but every time he punches something, he dies. One Punch Man, but Saitama is a suicide bomber.
Wasps, on the other hand, just keep stinging.
Yeah. Yeah, wasps are just assholes.
Away like some sort of...
Okay, that's enough, Randy. Randy, that's enough. Randy, for the love of God, that's enough. Randy! Ah! Randy, that's good. You can stop now, Randy. Randy! Oh my God, Randy! Woo! 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 Who's whistling? Who's like wolf whistling in the background?
When I was writing this bit,
Oh God.
I thought it would devolve into me just thrusting and one person going, yeah. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad it got there, but you know, originally when I wrote it, I couldn't actually think of an appropriate thruster to be thrusting in this imaginary thrust scenario that I'd created. So I literally Googled the word thrusting.
Oh,
The first thing that actually
great
comes up
idea.
is the definition, which is the motion of pushing or lunging suddenly or violently. But the second thing that came up was an article from AskMen.com.
Oh God. You mean r/askmen?
From the 22nd of November, 2022, entitled Thrusting Techniques. Can using different thrusting techniques turn you into a better lover? I'll save you the read. The answer is not really. And I quote from the article, "No amount of memorizing and applying different thrusting techniques can equal the importance of talking to your partner about what they want in bed." Yeah, oh yes, it's quite an elaborate description of the word consent, isn't it?
Yeah. Hear that, zoophiles in the back? Yeah. You need to both be able to talk and talk to and understand each other. Dogs can't do that.
But no amount of memorizing. Memorizing! Look, this is a safe space. Melbourne, just by round of applause, who here is currently memorizing thrusting techniques? Anybody? Anybody at all? Oh, fuck that. People don't usually clap. I have so many questions. Are you practicing in front of a mirror? Or is there like a Duolingo-style app that you have to use? 15 minutes a day and now I'm fluent in conversational thrusting. Or do you have to learn it like dance?
If there is a Duolingo style app, it's just like, learn how to have sex or I will kill your whole family. Hey, YouTube, this is a joke about Duolingo. Please don't murder me in my sleep. Thank you.
Choreography. 5, 6, 7, and thrust, and thrust, and woo, woo.
The noises Randy makes are great. I'm sorry for pausing so much, but I don't want to, like, talk over him or anything, because he's ultimately the star of the show, right? I don't want to talk over him. But, like, I do want to still give my input. I don't want this to just be a re-upload of the comedy special. So, I'm, of course, going to pause in order to give my input.
I wouldn't be any good at it, man. I was never good at memorizing information for exams when I was at school. I used to cheat and write the answers on the back of my hand. So in this scenario, I'd be there in bed looking at the back of my hand. Okay, push or lunge, suddenly or violently. Doesn't seem right. Okay.
Good job, Randy. Congratulations. Okay, you done? Okay, that's good, Randy. Randy, that's enough.
This is the rest of the show, by the way.
God damn it, Randy.
So I'm at the bus stop. And I am
So I'm at the airport.
At the bus stop, but I know people will come. And I know in my heart that they will be odd people. Because every bus stop in the world is the opening scene in an independent short film. It's just the way the universe works. Every time I am at a bus stop, there are weird characters there with me, and I can see the camera angles. I can see the script. I can see the disappointed parents who thought filmmaking was just a phase. Until one day their child asks if they can borrow the 2000 model 93S.
Stop! Randy, stop!
So, I'm sitting at the bus stop.
Okay.
Waiting for principal photography to commence on this independent short film.
Yeah.
And over to my right, I hear somebody scream, "Walking Man!"
Long man!
I look over, and standing in the middle of the intersection is a white man, looks to be in his early 30s, top half, crisp white button-up shirt, blue tie, bottom half, jogging shorts, Crocs, with the Japanese tiger tattooed on each calf muscle. And I was like, ha 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 ha, roll camera! There was a car trying to turn left into the intersection, and he's walking alongside the car, pointing up at the traffic lights, going, "Walking man! Walking man! Walking man!"
Oh, the crosswalks.
The driver of the car is an elderly Asian woman, and at first I think, oh, maybe his aggression is racially motivated. But it can't be that, because his calf muscles are so racially diverse. He bangs on the bonnet. She manages to drive around him and take off down the street, and he chases after the car, screaming expletives, and then comes and sits next to me on the bench.
Oh. Yeah, I would slide over to the other end too.
He smells of microbreweries and cryptocurrency. He takes out an enormous vape.
Wait, What does cryptocurrency smell like? Deforestation?
Pen and starts vaping. If you used to smoke cigarettes and now you vape, you're a real piece of shit. Sorry, I was just having a flashback to a joke I wrote in 2018. That keeps happening. Isn't that weird how that keeps
To think that that was 6 years ago he wrote that joke.
happening? As Screaming Man exhales a huge plume of raspberry and sauerkraut-flavored vapor, I reach into my pocket and I take out the 9-volt battery I got at the supermarket. I make a bit of a display of opening the package, take out the battery, hold it up to the light, give it a little sniff, and then start furiously licking the end of it.
Wait, what? Okay, okay, that's already enough, Randy.
I wait till I can feel Screaming Man looking at me, and then I turn to him and I say, "Oh, I used to vape, but this is much healthier." Screaming Man looks confused. Mission accomplished. I've actually been doing this little battery trick for a while now. And look, initially, it probably started out as like a passive-aggressive political statement about the dangers of vaping. But now I'm addicted to licking 9-volt batteries. Can't stop, won't stop.
Welcome to My Strange Addiction. On today's episode of My Strange Addiction, licking 9-volt batteries.
After a few more licks...
Okay, Randy, you can stop now! Randy! Randy! Randy!
I pop the battery in my pocket.
Finally.
Reach for the bag
Fucking
of
finally.
mandarins. They're in one of those orange netting bags that they come in from the supermarket, and as I rip it open, I think of the ocean. Dead fish. Cause and effect.
Randy, where are you going?
James Cameron.
James Cameron!
Mandarins are the perfect palate cleanser for a 9-volt battery, by the way. Their acidities just cancel each other out somehow. So anytime I'm licking bats, always got a couple of Mandos on standby, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I take out 2 mandarins and I offer one to Screaming Man. Mandarin? Oh, yes, please, he says, and he takes one. And at that moment, a young woman arrives and sits down on the bench between Screaming Man and me. And someone, somewhere, wins an Academy Award for Best Casting in an Independent Film. She is perfect. 31, could play 28, lemon cardigan, cute bob, bangs, pink Converse, houseplant tattoo, hoop skirt, starburst earrings, emotional support guinea pig.
Wait, what? That's a
She's
thing?
the kind of woman who has a guinea pig on a leash at the bus stop. Fuck yes! She got that Twitch streaming, cosplaying, cupcake bacon, pronoun flipping, D&D on ketamine, geek chic bubble tea thing going on.
All right.
I mentally run through my schedule for the next couple of months, decide I have nothing important happening, and instantly fall in love with this woman. Damn you, Christmas horny! Mandarin? Oh, yes, please, she says, and she takes one. And there we sit. 3 characters in an independent short film. Silently enjoying our mandarins. With a fucking guinea pig.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like...
Through the heart and you're too
Too
plain,
late.
darling,
You give
no
love
a
a
bad
bad
name.
name.
The fact that Screaming Man's ringtone is Bon Jovi totally tracks with his character.
Yeah, that sounds about
He
right.
stands up and walks away to a respectful distance to answer the call does not track with his character at all. Because if this was an independent short film, he would answer the phone on the bench next to us, and his one-sided telephone conversation would do a lot of heavy lifting when it came to revealing later moments of the plot.
Yeah.
He'd be all like, "No, I am not coming into work today, for I have a funeral to attend." And even if I get somehow swept up in the story of 2 unlikely strangers and a guinea pig, you better damn well believe I will be attending that funeral right on sunset. But he doesn't. He gets up and fucks off. And I'm starting to feel very disappointed until I notice the young woman is looking at me. I'm Phoebe. Of course you are. Just as the word sizzle is onomatopoeic for the sound a sausage makes while frying in a fry pan, Phoebe is onomatopoeic for the sound a rabbit makes when it sees a butterfly. Phoebe is the sound of a baby duck sneezing. Phoebe is the sound of a tadpole with the hiccups. Phoebe is the sound of a fox's tail brushing past a Nintendo Switch. Phoebe is the sound of the wind whistling through a crocheted bikini top drying on a Balinesian sunbed. Phoebe is the sound of an acai berry smoothie through a paper straw. Phoebe is the sound of the doorbell ringing at the house where you've nervously arranged the first threesome in your 6-year monogamous relationship. Phoebe, 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 Phoebe. Hello, Phoebe. My name's Randy. Hello, Randy. This, she says, holding up the guinea pig, is Simone de Beauvoir.
Simone de Beauvoir! Hold on. I need to know how that's spelled. Hold on. I'll look it up later. I'll look it up after the stream. Oh, I should probably... Simone de Beauvoir.
And I don't know whether to come or kill myself.
Yeah, that is a pretty awkward situation, isn't it? Just a guinea pig you just getting third wheeled by a guinea pig named Simone de Beauvoir. Can you imagine getting third wheeled by a guinea pig named Simone de Beauvoir?
At that moment, the bus arrives. Screaming Man ends his telephone call and gets on first, followed by Phoebe and Simone de Beauvoir. And then
Simone de Beauvoir.
And I hand the tin of shortbread.
What a fucking name. Simone de Beauvoir, the guinea pig. What the hell?
Bread biscuits to the bus driver, and I take my seat. My parents were both school bus drivers, you see, and at the end of every school year, the children would often gift them tins of shortbread biscuits. So now, anytime I catch a bus, I hand a tin of shortbread biscuits to the bus driver and I say, "Thank you for your service." To
Yeah, public transportation is basically just war trenches, isn't it?
distract from the fact that I have not purchased a ticket.
Case in point.
Now, it's quite a full bus, but everybody has a seat. I'm sitting across the aisle from Screaming Man, and I'm 4 rows back from Phoebe.
And Simone de Beauvoir.
And I'm staring at the back of her head, wondering if our children will have ADHD.
Probably.
And I start to think about how to turn this entire experience into a comedy routine. See, as a comedian, I gotta be looking for the funny in every situation all the time. I
Right.
have to constantly mine my real life for comedic material, no matter how dark shit gets. Gotta be fresh, gotta be original. I can't come up here and do 58 minutes of fart jokes, as much as I would love to. It's gotta be fresh
I wish comedy were that easy.
and new and exciting stuff. The pressure is enormous. That's why I always carry a dick pic in my top pocket. Just to remind me that you're only ever as good as your last dick joke. Not very good! Ha!
Hey! Wait, what was that laugh? What was that laugh? Just
Pulls over and a couple of passengers get off and a couple more get on. And I place the bag of mandarins onto my lap and I slide across in my seat to allow an elderly man to sit next to me. And as the bus pulls back out into traffic, I experience the most intense, instant, horrific pain in my right testicle.
wait, what?
I have never felt anything like it. It is as if someone has taken a hot needle and they are pushing or lunging it suddenly or violently right into my ball sack. The
What?
wasps found
The wasps! Oh no! He's getting stung by wasps in the nuts!
mandarins. I start screaming, "Wah! Wah!" I throw the mandarins on the ground. I'm like, "Get him off me! Get him off me!" I stand up on my seat and I shove my hand down the front of my pants and a wasp stings me on the palm and I'm like, "Wah!" And nobody is helping.
Yeah, I mean, it's a... Everyone would be pretty shocked.
And tells me to sit down and shut up. The old man next to me looks at me, gets up, moves to another seat.
Can't really blame him there.
The bus driver's useless. He's eating fucking shortbread biscuits. And worst of all, Phoebe, love of my life, is looking back at me in horror, shielding Simone de Beauvoir's eyes from the spectacle.
I'll never get over that name. A guinea pig named Simone de Beauvoir.
And as I stand there, with everybody judging me or ignoring me, but nobody asking me how they can help, as I scream in agony, repeatedly punching myself in the genitals. It occurs to me that this is the perfect analogy for American politics.
Wait, what?
Which is why tonight, I am announcing that I am officially running for President of the United States of America in 2024.
I'd vote for him. He'd at least be better than the last two guys.
Hit it!
Wait, are we getting a song? Is this like Purple Privilege all over again?
I have a vision. Call it ambition or call it a mission, I've made a decision. To break with tradition and bring a petition to this inquisition.
Okay.
It's a proposition, an admission of my position. And it began by Googling words that rhyme with vision. I was born to stand upon the stage, but times have changed and I began to disengage. Then Lady Luck delivered me into the TikTok age, where Feltface pricks like me are all the fucking rage. My sacred works of art dissected into gimmicks. My space is far too existential to impress the cunts at Netflix. I'm chasing clicks, charging too much for ticks. I only got this gig tonight by sucking Jeff Dunham's dick. I think this is as low as my career can sink. I fear that mediocrity might be my kink. So I run a bath and make a plan to end it quick. And then a sweet solution hits me like a ton of bricks. I'll just switch my dick pic for a crucifix. Now I'm in politics. Vote one Randy Feltface. Politics. There's a new horse in this race.
Politics.
And by horse, I mean centaur. I have the body of
Politics.
A horse. That's why I hide behind this. It's true.
Politics. Oh wait,
it's
it's not.
Been in such a fucking state. There are a list of leaders to assassinate. I'm not condoning it, but I would look away if you kill Peter Dutton. With great power comes great responsibility, and I intend to lead you with humility. And if I lose, then I will choose to refuse to accept the result. Fuck you, Melbourne! How many politicians does it take to change a light bulb?
Politics.
3. One to change it, one to say they could have done it better,
Politics.
and one to stick it up their ass for no apparent reason.
Politics.
I'm the third one.
Politics.
You need a leader who can be a people-pleasing puppet.
Politics.
And someone who sees a battery and has to suck it.
Politics.
You need me.
Politics.
I will be your president until I get bored.
Politics.
Feltface, motherfuckers. Huh.
That was a great song. And apparently it was really long, but it went by really quick.
All right. All right. Now,
again, I'd vote for him. Again, I'd vote for him. Because, you know, he'd be a better president than the last two guys.
Political party needs is its very own written constitution. And here's one I prepared earlier. Oh, I know. A song and a prop. Wow. No expense spared for the people of Melbourne. Fuck, man. I bought this prop this afternoon at the Office Works in Elizabeth Street. First thing I'm going to do when I become president will be to shut down the Office Works on Elizabeth Street. Can't spell customer service without Okay.
Yeah, you can't spell customer service without
Okay. Feltopia party objectives. Objective number 1. To cultivate a deep understanding of the true purpose of existence, free from the influence of capitalist ambition or the pursuit of short-term gratification at the expense of the natural world, through the socially disruptive yet peaceful and non-violent undermining of irrelevant and greed-driven economic systems, with an emphasis on inclusivity and equality.
Okay.
Objective number 2. Hand jobs.
Woo!
And those are all of the objectives.
All right. I could get behind that.
You just before we go on, I could tell a lot of you are thinking, hang on a minute, Randy, aren't you Australian? I thought you had to be Merkin if you want to be President of America.
President of America.
You know, my friends, some of my parts made in America. Loophole!
Nice. Nice.
You know, comedians and politicians are very similar. We've both monetized transphobia. Dance with the distance between cause and effect. You can say things on stage that can have a lasting effect. I mean, you might be driving home tonight and you'll go, hand jobs. And politicians are literally controlling the weather. And if you haven't personally experienced an extreme weather event yet, it's only a matter of time before it's your weird neighbour on the evening news being interviewed going, well, my house was on fire and underwater at the same time. But I had
Phosphorus.
to go back in for me dog.
Well, yeah.
Despite the similarities,
Obviously
I
save the
always thought
dog.
the leap from comedy to politics would be impossible. And then a Ukrainian improv comic by the name of Vladimir Zelensky became...
Wait, he was a comedian? Vladimir Zelensky was a comedian?
one of the most charismatic wartime presidents in history, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll give it a shot. Yeah, yeah, it doesn't seem so far-fetched for old Randy Fuckface now, does it? Zelensky quit comedy for politics, though, and he's a huge role model of mine. I'm a big fan of the Zelensk. Which is why tonight, I am announcing that I am officially retiring from the comedy business.
No.
I'm done. Oh, well, I can't do both, can I? Imagine popping down the Palais on a Friday night to see the president do a tight 10. It'd fucking suck. You'd think it would be good, but it'd be the hackiest, most middle-of-the-road, people-pleasing comedy shit. Folks, don't you hate it when you're trying to get a bill passed through the Senate and you need to go poop? The only motion that needs passing around here is that third coffee I regret having this morning. You know what I'm talking about. Filibuster. Fill a bucket more like it.
Yeah, it's noises like this that come out of Randy Feltface that I just love. Just the God, that hurt my throat.
It's politics all the way, baby! Until the inevitable assassination attempt thwarted by the dick pic in my top pocket. Whereupon I shall retire from politics and announce my long-awaited comedy comeback show! Ah, yes, we all love a comedy comeback show, don't we? I thought that he wasn't doing it anymore, but then now he's back again. He's doing another one. This one's the same as all of the other ones, but there was a gap in the middle. That's why this one's a comeback one. Comedians always come back. We're like wasps crawling out of tin cans. We just keep thrusting. Even if we get cancelled, there's always an audience, sometimes a bigger one. Thanks, Patreon. But you know, I believe it was Winston Churchill who put it best when he said,
God, I can't do voices anymore.
yeah, really makes you think, doesn't it? Hello there, what's your name?
Thomas.
What is it?
Thomas.
Thomas! Hello, Thomas!
Hi.
Did I get you on the first go?
Yeah.
Fuck yes. Thomas! What did you do today, Thomas?
Not much. Had a day off.
You what?
Had a day off.
Thomas had a day off, everybody!
Woo!
Thereby proving that Thomas is not someone that I've planted in the audience. Interesting back and forth crowd work. What did you do on your day off, Thomas?
Just hung out and I had a job interview.
You had a job interview.
Oh?
Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
What job are you going for, Thomas?
Campaign officer with the Firefighters Union.
Say again one more time.
Campaign officer with the Firefighters Union.
Campaign officer for the Firefighters Union.
Woo!
Now this is where I'm faced with a choice.
Okay.
Do I wish to endure the wrath of the Firefighters Union for the remainder of my career? Or do I talk to Thomas about something else? Where do you live, Thomas? Firefighters are big and muscly and climb ladders and have hoses and shit. I shall not be taking them on this time. No, I shall not.
Fair enough.
Where do you live?
Footscray.
Footscray? Fuck yes! Come on, the doggies!
All right.
Some football fans in the crowd. That doesn't gel with my normal demographic, but that's good. Hey, Thomas. Tell me something else interesting that's more interesting than your job interview and Footscray. Who did you come here with tonight, Thomas?
Just by myself.
Just by yourself? Fuck yes! Come on now! Come on! Yes! Yes! Thomas! We're all friends now. You said you had a day off and you went for a job interview. What's your existing job?
Bartender.
You're a bartender. Where did you tend bar?
Fortress Melbourne.
Where?
Fortress.
Fortress.
I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna pretend I
Everybody
love
knows
it.
about Fortress except for me.
And me!
Fortress sounds like some sort of sex club. Is it just a bar?
Bar and LAN center.
Bar and what?
LAN center, so like computers and gaming and stuff.
It's a gaming place. See? That's why my crowd cheered so much. That checks out. Did you hear how that cheer was louder than the sports fans? Fortress, yeah! Footy, yeah. Oh, that's so cool. So you were a bartender at a place where you go and play games and drink. Oh my God, and you're here on your own. Oh my God, you must get laid so much. Thomas. Turnbull. Twimby twum twoo. If I was the mayor of Footscray, what's the first thing you would want me to do in that area to make things more enjoyable? What?
Woo!
If you didn't hear it, he said hand jobs. It's already my number 2 policy. Nothing else?
There's a lot of abandoned land plots at the moment that need clearing because it's pretty dangerous.
Abandoned what?
Abandoned land plots, so like old buildings that are crumbling past.
There's a lot of abandoned old buildings that need something done with them. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? More bars where you can play games?
Yes!
More nerd bars? Oh my God!
Do we have those in America? Because if not, we need them.
Okay, first thing I'm going to do, hand job. Second thing I'm going to do is going to turn all of the abandoned buildings in Footscray into like nerd palaces. Yes, yes, people shall come from miles around on their own. Yeah, okay, I'm sensing a little bit of skepticism in the room. I get it, you're all looking at me going, Randy, you raggedy old repurposed couch cushion. How could you ever make it in politics? Let's be clear, people. I never wanted to go into politics. I am an artist. I should be writing poetry and playing panpipes, getting fingered under a willow tree. The politicians are doing such a shit job, it's up to the comedians to step in. We had to do it with the news. You think comedians enjoy working on satirical news programs? You think anyone on The Project or The Weekly like their job?
Or SNL.
I've met those people and they are fucking miserable. But the media were doing such a shit job, we had to step up. Comedians to the rescue yet again. And I know you're all looking at me going, that's all well and good, Randy, you bug and bin fuck rag. But are you even remotely qualified to enter politics? And I understand that question because you people don't know me for anything other than comedy. And that is because I've never had any other job. Apart from one time in my early 20s, I got a job at a discount furniture warehouse. And I thought I was going to be on the sales team, but turns out they just wanted me to stand out the front on the street and do this.
Okay, that's good, Randy, you can stop now. That's good. And you're doing a good job, but that's good. You can stop. Randy!
I did it for 8 years!
8 years of that!
You'll be glad to know that this was not an overnight decision. I've taken this decision very seriously, my friends. I want to be a palatable political candidate. I want to be someone the voting people can trust. Which is why tonight, I am very excited to unveil my full-scale political makeover.
Now he's a wanker.
Thank you. First thing I did to clean up my reputation, I started wearing shoes. That's a big step up for me. Step up. I also stopped going to therapy, started drinking again, and moved my poppy plantations offshore. But the biggest change that I made to make myself someone who can relate to the general public, someone you can vote for, is for the past year, I have been involved in a monogamous heterosexual relationship.
Randy's got a girlfriend.
Wow, okay, thanks. That is just enormous support from you. 4 people went, yay. I get it. I understand, Melbourne. It goes against my slutty pansexual image. I know it's not the Randy Feltface you've come to know and fuck. But look, sometimes you just have to meet the right person at the right time. And I did, at a bus stop. Her name is Phoebe!
Oh! So he got with Phoebe.
Yes! And this is 100% true. We did meet at a bus stop. Her name is Phoebe. We caught the same bus. I was stung on the dick and balls by a thrusting wasp. And it was Phoebe who got off at the same stop as me and witnessed the fact that my scrotum was swelling to the size of a fucking volleyball. And she was the one who called the Uber and actually came with me to the emergency room, where, by the way, the triage nurse called me John Wayne because she said I was walking like I just got off a horse. You're applauding, but it's unprofessional in my opinion. Anyway, Phoebe and I exchanged numbers, and 3 weeks later, once my genitals had returned to their shrunken pre-wasp glory, Phoebe and I went on the best first date ever. We met at a park right near Phoebe's house, and yes, I admit, I was cynical when she turned up with Simone de Beauvoir.
God damn it, Simone de Beauvoir! Damn you, Simone de Beauvoir! Imagine getting cock-blocked by a guinea pig named Simone de Beauvoir.
But we just hit it off. We didn't do anything or go anywhere. She brought cupcakes, because of course she did. And we just sat under a tree for 5 hours laughing our asses off. And I'd never felt more myself that quickly around someone before. And I was like, oh shit. I think this is what people talk about when they talk about finding their person. Fucking terrifying. Anyway, it started to get a little bit late in the day, and we decided to keep hanging out and go and get some dinner. Now, Phoebe had arrived on foot. I was in the Saab, obviously. So she handed me Simone de Beauvoir, and she went over to use the public toilet, and I skipped back to the car. I put the top down, and I drove the car across the car park to meet Phoebe when she came out of the toilets, so she wouldn't have as far to walk.
Aww.
I know. Gross. And we've been inseparable ever since. Turns out Phoebe is the sound of my heart exploding. Which is great for me, because now I get to do jokes about being in a relationship. I'm a real comedian. Come on!
Woo!
Yes! So I'm talking to the fellas here. The fellas know what I'm talking about. I know the fellas know what I'm talking about, don't you, fellas? Boys! You know when you
Boys!
your girlfriend are doing that cute little thing that you do? You know what I'm talking about, fellas? That cute little thing that you and your girlfriend do, where you lay at opposite sides of the bed in stony silence with your backs turned to each other? You know what I'm talking about? And she's trying to hide the fact that she's crying. You know what I mean? And you're rolling your eyes so far up in your head, you can see your own fucking brain. You know what I mean? And you think to yourself, we should have a kid. But look, I don't want to undersell it. Me and Phoebe, very much in love. And yes, the sex is fantastic. And look, I wouldn't bring it up, but on this whole tour, people keep asking me what I'm into in the bedroom. More people than should, if I'm being honest. So just to clear it up for all of you curious cats out there, I am a sub.
Yeah, he's a power bottom. Let's go. Randy's a power bottom, everybody.
Yep. I mean, clearly, he is the dom. Thank you, Daddy.
Whoa!
So there you have it, my friends. I am a boring man in a committed relationship with conservative opinions and a hint of sexual deviancy. I am your new president!
Woo! President Feltface!
The first thing I'm going to do is make it illegal for anyone over the age of 50 to own more than one property.
Actually good.
You
That is actually a good
property
thing.
hoarding, negative gearing, land baron fucks. Also, anyone who is currently staying in an Airbnb, it's yours now.
Wait, but what if there are multiple people in the Airbnb? Is it just like split 50-50?
Live, laugh, love. It's the law now.
Live, laugh, love. It's the law now.
And I know I'll get slammed in the Murdoch press for this. I'll be dragged through the mud on talkback radio. I'm gonna get cancelled by the boomers! Sorry, I know that in the current climate, anytime a comedian on stage says the word cancelled or cancel culture, you, as an audience, collectively vomit into your mouth, swallow the vomit, vomit it back up, catch the vomit, eat the vomit, shit it out, grab the shit and rub the shit on your face. I'm exactly the same. But it does not mean that I am not terrified of being cancelled. So tonight, I thought I'd get out in front of this shit and reveal some of my ugliest truths to you all this evening and cancel myself before anyone else can.
Woo!
I masturbate while driving. I think any dogs under 10 kilograms should be bred out of existence.
Honestly, that's true for their sake. Because dogs that small are suffering. I mean, just look at pugs.
Sydney is better than Melbourne. I deliberately misgender babies.
Okay, but that's just funny. That's just funny.
Within the first minute of this show, I referred to Jesus Christ as a cunt. That happened. Now...
Oh yeah, I forgot about
look,
that.
Hey, look, I'm not here to shit on anybody's faith systems, okay? Dig what you want to dig, baby. But you got to understand, I was raised Catholic, so in my opinion, jokes about Jesus are fucking hilarious. Oh, look, have I said one or two things in my career that could be perceived as regrettable? Possibly. But in my defense, I am battling a serious 9-volt battery addiction at this time. I'm trying to detox on double A's, but it's hard. I went to an AA meeting, but it wasn't about batteries. And finally, and this is the big one, Phoebe and I are not together anymore.
Aww.
I mean...
Wait, who just cheered? Who just went, woo?
Technically, we didn't make it past the first date. It was the best first date ever. All of that was true. We had an amazing day in the park, and it started to get late. We decided to go get dinner. So she handed me Simone de Beauvoir. She went to use the public toilets. I skipped back to the car, put the top down, backed the car up, and it turns out Phoebe is the sound a guinea pig makes when you back over it with the 2000 model.
Oh no! Oh no, he killed Simone de Beauvoir!
Incredible sub.
He killed some... Randy, you bastard! You killed Simone de Beauvoir!
It wasn't dead, but it was pretty fucked up.
Oh! It was just suffering. Okay.
Its back was broken and its leg was all...
Oh!
It was suffering. It was suffering. And I'm like, well, there's no way I can get out of this. There are no other cars in the car park. Clearly, I have run over the guinea pig. So I have a choice. Do I let Phoebe come out of the toilets and see her beloved pet guinea pig in this much pain? Or do I kill the guinea pig? Tough call as a vegan. I mean, I can't take an animal's life, but I can't let an animal suffer. I gotta kill the guinea pig. So, I picked up a rock
Oh no.
and I knelt down next to Simone de Beauvoir.
Simone de Beauvoir, the guinea pig.
I'm so sorry. If I hadn't have locked my keys in the car 3 weeks ago, you wouldn't be in this position. The distance between cause and effect. And Simone de Beauvoir went limp.
He killed Simone de Beauvoir.
And I imagined her little soul rising up out of her body. And I followed the path of her soul up into the air. And locked eyes with Phoebe,
Oh no!
who had just witnessed me murder her guinea pig in cold blood. I mean, who brings a guinea pig to a first date? Seriously. Who brings cupcakes to a first date? Cupcakes with blue icing, by the way. Blue is not even a natural colour for foodstuffs. Name me one blue food. Blueberries
These
are
are fucking purple! Yeah!
Sorry, I was just having a flashback to a joke I wrote in 2013. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that was when he
You know
wrote that
joke,
joke.
actually, if you're not familiar with that joke, that blueberries bit, it's one of my most well-known jokes. People quote that joke at me all the time. People make fucking fan art for that joke. The original premise was, what flavour are blue 7-Eleven slushies? And then that turned into a bit about food allergies. Anyway, the punchline was always, blueberries are fucking purple. Now, I filmed that joke for a special, and after it had been online for a few years, somebody pointed out to me that it is very similar to a joke by one of the greatest comedians of all time, George Carlin.
Who?
And by very similar, I mean almost identical. George Carlin's bit is about blue foods, and he actually uses the words, blueberries are purple. Now, when I wrote the joke, I knew who George Carlin was, sure, but I'd never seen that bit. I hadn't seen much of his stuff, actually. I was more of a Bill Hicks fan at that point in my life. Yeah, if you're not familiar, if Carlin's the Torah, Hicks is the New Testament. But I can say with absolute confidence that if I had seen the George Carlin blue foods bit, there's no fucking way I would have written that joke. That's not how I roll, Melbourne. And look, it's not a particularly original premise. Blueberries are fucking purple! But the fact is, George Carlin filmed that joke in front of a live audience 2 years before I was even born. Can you feel that, Melbourne? This is the real cancellation. You've all totally forgotten that 2 minutes ago, I caved in a guinea pig's head with a fucking rock.
Don't remind me of Simone de
The
Beauvoir.
greatest crime in comedy is lack of originality. But in politics, lack of originality is a fucking asset. So maybe I'm entering politics not because I actually want to see change in the world, but because I'm not certain I have anything original left to contribute. I don't want to become a Randy Feltface cover band churning out another hour of jokes, barely distinguishable from the last hour of jokes, year after year after year, having flashbacks to jokes I've already written while I'm on stage, or second-guessing every single comedic premise for fear of plagiarism. To be perfectly honest, I don't even know if I know how to be funny anymore. Excuse me. So anyway, after I euthanized Simone de Beauvoir, Phoebe was understandably inconsolable. I managed to clumsily explain that it was an act of mercy rather than straight up guinea pig homicide, and she calmed down long enough to stop punching me in the face, which was nice. I emptied a tin of shortbread biscuits that I had stashed in the Saab, and Phoebe scooped up Simone de Beauvoir's lifeless body and placed it in the tin. Phoebe said this was Simone de Beauvoir's favourite park, and it seemed a fitting place to bury her. I was pretty sure that would have been against council regulations, but I think she was in shock, so I didn't say anything. There was a circular rose garden in the middle of the park with soil loose enough for me to dig a hole with a stick, and we placed the tin into the hole, covered it with dirt, and stepped back. As Phoebe began to shakily sing Candle in the Wind by Elton John, it occurred to me that maybe I dodged a bullet ending the relationship before it started. And look, that might sound harsh, but let's put this into perspective, shall we? I have nothing to offer someone like Phoebe. I'm never around, man. I've been on the road for so much of my adult life that the only meaningful relationships I've managed to cultivate are with the people that work in the Virgin Lounge at Coolangatta Airport. Tracy sends hugs, by the way. And I know you wanted it to work out with me and Phoebe. I know you were invested in my happiness because I heard you all go, "Aw," during the Phoebe story. And I appreciate that. I love that. It means a lot to me. I respect you as an audience. And that's why I've got to be honest with you and tell you that if I was in a committed relationship, I probably wouldn't tell you people about it. It's none of your fucking business. Phoebe is the sound of my heart exploding. Get fucked, Melbourne!
All right. And that's going to be it for today's live stream, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful time. I certainly did. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace.